there a golden verse to be hung over?
Well, I feel like that was that. If you asked me that question, a few months ago, that would have been I would have known. I've been, it's just, I don't know if it's about proving it to the fans, proving it to myself is kind of the biggest thing, and it just was an opportunity that presented itself. So they were, obviously SummerSlam was in Toronto, and that being my hometown, I thought that's a perfect opportunity if we're gonna make this happen. And it's like something like at home, I'd sit with my husband, and we're like, he's like, you could still go back. Or after, evolution, you realize that you still have it. So I thought potentially I'd go back for one day. And of course, there's so many amazing athletes that I'd love to have gotten in the ring with. Sasha Banks is one of them. Her and I had a little moment, yes, right? A little Sasha Banks love, right? She and I had a little moment in the Royal Rumble, and I just think people still talk about it. They're like, when is that match happening? I'm like, I don't know. Like I said, it just presented itself. It was the time, my whole career, it's been about timing. And it just was like, it being SummerSlam in Toronto, Charlotte had just turned full heel at the time, and I thought, I think this is the one opportunity. And it felt like a good moment of finality for me to go back, do that match, and just take my final bow.
I noticed you dodged the question.
Did I?
Is there anything that could tempt you back?
I mean, like I said, Sasha Banks is a hell of an athlete. Yeah.
Versus the boss. All right, next up.
Hey, thank you for coming here to Dallas. I've been watching you since I was really young. I think you're the greatest female wrestler ever.
Thank you for making me feel old. Okay. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, so my question actually involves, so the first pay-per-view I ever bought, I was in the 5th grade, I saved up like $40. It was WrestleMania 22.
Love it.
So I've having this question for years. All right, so there's, since a child in the room trying to make this, there was certain things were grabbed. There was a moment that got edited out of like everything in there with Mickie James.
Yeah.
And I know Mickie kind of said that she got really reprimanded for it. She thought her career was over at that point. I've always wondered, was that planned beforehand, or was this something that was off script? And if it was, sort of like, what was just your reaction in the moment?
If you guys know what we're talking about, yeah. Is that yeah? We kind of know? Okay. Good. I think we talked about it, like we were sitting in the stands and we kind of, as we, you kind of go through moments, and then we did it jokingly almost, and then it somehow made its way to the match almost, you know what I mean? And you're in the moment, so you don't really, it worked in the moment, and for her character, put it that way. Vince was not happy. For him, it was not right for the moment at all. So, it is what it is. I mean, she got talking to, for sure. But I would, let's just be clear, she wasn't in trouble that her career was over from that, just to be clear, right? Yeah. But I mean, it's a moment that we still talk about today. How about that?
Appreciate it.
Look, man, you got the strap. You're the champion.
Oh.
Whoa, hey.
They even turned up the lights. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't believe I sound
Did you
like
bring The
that.
Undertaker?
Yeah, the champ's up the mic. What do you got for us, champ?
Okay, so
It's
I got a
awkward. It's
comment
weird.
and I got a loaded question. Sorry, I can't keep things simplistic. Okay, so one, everyone keeps saying that Alexa Bliss is the new you. That is not true.
There's only one Trish Stratus.
Damn right. Okay, and so the next is like a really, really loaded question. I'm probably breaking the rules, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just not a simplistic person.
Okay, my flying elbow's ready. I can get right off this stage.
Okay, so since you left, there's always rumors going around since like you had your retirement match with Lita. There was a rumor that you were supposed to come back and face Awesome Kong and have a program with her, and then there was a rumor that you were supposed to face Asuka back when she was in NXT and the champion. Mm-hmm. Is there any validity to these rumors? And is it true? And were they planning on having you end Asuka's winning streak?
Okay. So, not that loaded. That was okay.
Yes!
Yeah, which wrestling site do you write for?
Kong and I think it was brought up, I don't know if I was backstage or I happened to be around when she was about to be brought back. And I think it was Stephanie or Triple H or someone had said, she's going to need like Beauty and the Beast, she's going to need like a underdog, or, a babyface underdog kind of like you would be great. And I was like, okay, so that was like, I was retired at that time, so it was kind of like put into my awareness. But then it was never brought up again. But then she started and was out so quick, right? So that didn't end up happening with her due to baby, correct?
Correct.
Right. And then, speaking of babies and fetuses, another reason those fetuses always get in the way, that's not a good joke, is it? The reason I say that is because Oscar, that actually never came up. No one actually asked me that. It was never brought up to my attention. I think because it was in Toronto, people assumed that would be something that would be, they would just bring in Trish because it's Toronto. But I was actually pregnant at the time with said fetus. And so even if it did come up, I wouldn't have been available or part of her winning or losing streak. Hope I answered questions. Yes.
You did, thank you.
You're welcome. It's weird when I can't see my pupils though, right? Can we turn the lights on again? It's better, right? It feels creepy, doesn't it? My security guy's going, yeah, turn the lights on, right? All right, if it happens, it happens. If not, I'll just stare at nothing.
It's like driving into the sun.
Yeah.
All right, we got somebody at the mic. What you got for us?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, first off, Charlotte might call herself the queen, but that is wrong. You are the queen. You will always be the queen, no matter what.
Woo, thank you. I like to call myself the queen of queens, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The queen of hearts.
I
And you
love
steal
it.
everybody's heart.
Aww.
I've been a big fan of you for the longest time,
Thank you.
and it was a pleasure meeting you. But if you were to return, not as a wrestling, as an in-ring wrestler, and you were able to manage a faction of pure women in WWE, let's say Nexus style, who would you want?
Pick your girl game.
How many girls in this game?
Let's say 6.
6 gals.
And in case you could have face and heels.
Okay.
So
You think my team would work if I had...
yes, because you would be able to manipulate the fans to where they would cheer
Yeah.
for the face, but then again you would have the heels to do the dirty work.
Uh-huh.
If there's anybody who could manage a team of
Yes.
heels and faces, it's probably her,
Yes.
to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. I say we bring up the 4 horsewomen from NXT. Yeah? Huh?
Solid.
And then I'm
Four
just gonna
picks
go
and
with,
one draft pick.
Yeah. There's a shoot. And then, there we go. Hi guys. I mean, I know you guys can still see me, but it felt weird, right?
Yeah.
I have to go with Sasha and Bailey. I think they're like ready to go next level, and I think I could maybe take them into the stratosphere.
That would be amazing.
We'll put
The
it that way.
Stratus Sensational 6.
Yes, or the Stratus faction. I mean,
There you go. There you go.
right? All right. The t-shirts are being made right now, guys.
They'll be available for sale in 25 minutes.
Who's part of the Stratus faction? You guys. But also my team, so it's kind of weird. Yeah, that's why it was tough to get that one. Okay. Moving on. Hi, Cindy.
Hello. Okay, so we've already discussed earlier that I'm way older than you. Coming from the generation.
Not way older, but
Yeah, way older. From the generation to where you're to be seen, not heard, and a woman's place is in the house, everybody goes boo. When you first got into the business, did the boys treat you right before and after you got out of the ring, or were they, telling you, you need to go home, honey?
you know what? To be honest, the guys were really supportive. I think what they saw was a hardworking girl come in, a fan of the business, and that was a big thing, that they liked that I was not just this chick who was like, I'm gonna go make some bucks doing this, And so as a fan of the business, and I was passionate and driven, and they saw that. I mean, I was the girl who, so when a show is on in the evening, they set up the ring in the daytime, and I was the girl in there every single day during the live events plus TVs in the ring, learning, honing my craft, because like he said earlier, I really learned, my only chance was to get in. I learned as I went, basically, right? You saw me fall down and then brush myself off and then get up again, right? So that's what you saw. And so yeah, a lot of them embraced that, and a lot of them, I ended up having this like little sister vibe with them. They were kind of like, I was like, they're my big bro, and they took care of me like that, and a lot of them had my back, and a lot of them are my friends to this day. And I think also as a special group of people at the time, there was only a handful of us that we were all fans of the business, all wrestling fans when we were kids, and so now we're like, holy Gabby's changed the whole landscape.
We work at Disneyland now. You're Mickey Mouse
Holy
and I'm
smokes!
Mickey Mouse.
Holy smokes! Oh boy! We're performing the ring, and we watched this ring when we were growing up. So we were all part of this amazing thing that was taking off on this trajectory that was just insane. If you remember that time, we know the golden era for the girls, the Attitude Era. It was incredible, right? I mean, you'll never have a roster like that with that many unique superstars at one time. So, yeah, I was just there at a lucky time. We were all super. Like a traveling circus, just all of us trying to go out there, and it was a team effort doing our job. So I was lucky, and it didn't have anything strange or awkward.
Thank you for being the example.
Thank you.
Gabby's back.
Gabby makes her return. Sorry, I have another question.
No problem.
Since you are the first wrestler I've ever met, and probably going to be the nicest, I just have one question that I'm meaning to ask a lot of wrestlers if I do meet more wrestlers in the future. And I do want actually to become a WWE wrestler and maybe be part of Gabish,
I love it!
How did you come up with your Trish Stratus character?
Okay, so Trish Stratus is a name that I had already from my fitness days, right? So I came from fitness modeling before. And the first character I was given was I was a heel. So I was a bad guy. I had two guys to manage, Test and Albert, right? And all I knew was I gotta be a bad guy. So I basically developed this persona that kind of is an extension of myself. So I feel like the characters that work the best out there, the characters that really resonate, that word resonate, really connect with the fans, are the ones that are truest to themselves. So there's that genuineness, and it's just amped up, turned up a few notches of who their real personality is. But, I see like Austin and Rock, that's how they are, but then they're just amped up out there. So I think those are the most, the characters have the most longevity, so they're around longer, and they're kind of, when I say evergreen means they're, when you think of a Christmas tree, they're always green, right? So characters like that are evergreen. They're always there, and they always will resonate with someone in the crowd.
Okay. Thank you very
Yeah, you're
much.
welcome.